Welcome back. We just sat down with former Congressman Joe Cunningham, Democratic gubernatorial candidate who's in a race with our next guest to get on the November ballot. Joining us now is State Senator Mia McLeod, representing Kershaw and Richland counties. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So I have to say, one thing that I noticed in my conversation with Mr. Cunningham is that you two don't seem too different in terms of policies that you would promote. So maybe we can start there, and you can tell me exactly why you decided to run for governor and why you would be the better choice.
So I think that we are pretty different when it comes to policy. I believe that the hardworking people of South Carolina deserve a living wage of at least $15 an hour. And I've been fighting for that. I've served in the South Carolina Senate now for 6 years, served in the South Carolina House for 6. And, you know, as governor, I want to focus on improving the lives of everyday South Carolinians and prioritizing working people and making sure that we cut back on the anti-labor rhetoric and that we've seen from our Republican majority. Those are the things that really distinguish me from my opponent.
If I may just interject for a moment, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's not too dissimilar from what he did state earlier, in that he would like to see minimum wage raised to at least double digits. But my question for you is, how would that affect small business owners?
Well, as a small business owner, my family has been in business in the state for 108 years. I'm super proud of that. But I know that we are so imbalanced when it comes to the issues that affect working people. And what I mean by that is we have not raised our minimum wage of $7.25 an hour to a living wage. We also have cheated the people of South Carolina out of their unemployment benefits during the height of the pandemic. So, you know, when I think about the fact that small business owners are still struggling right now to find people who want to work, even though people need to work and they do want to work, they just don't want to work for slave wages. And so to raise our minimum wage to at least $15 an hour would be a great step in a better direction, not only for small businesses, but for working people as well.
Well, another thing that Mr. Cunningham had mentioned is Medicaid, expanding Medicaid. That is also something that you would like to see happen.
Absolutely, and I'm not sure it's for the same reasons, but it doesn't matter. I've been very open about the fact that I live with sickle cell anemia, and I know what it feels like to have a health insurance premium that's higher than my mortgage, and to go without health insurance because I haven't been able to afford it when I first started my own company. So I will expand Medicaid right out of the gate because I can, because it's the right thing to do. And there's a reason that so many Republican governors across the country have done that. It would be a tremendous economic boost to our state. It would help bring jobs back into the state. It would help bring healthcare professionals back. It would help us reopen many of our rural hospitals. I was born and raised in rural South Carolina, and so I still have family there. My family business is still there. And so I know the impact that expanding Medicaid will have on our state firsthand. Mr. Cunningham does not, but I will expand it right out of the gate because I can. And I believe that that is what is best for South Carolina.
Now, you also say that systemic reforms in areas such as judicial system, infrastructure, and so forth. What would you do if you were to be elected in your first year as governor? What would you do? What would your policies be?
Well, I would continue to address the systemic ills and prioritize the needs and challenges of everyday people across South Carolina. That is not happening right now. We have a Republican governor and Republican legislative majority. They are prioritizing abortion and fetal heartbeat bills and open carry bills. But we have real systemic issues as it relates to public education and our minimally adequate public education standard. We have an unprecedented amount of money coming into the state this year and last year, and yet we just voted, the Republican majority just voted to send $100 million of our tax dollars to private school vouchers. So when it comes to public education, when it comes to small businesses and true workforce development, our infrastructure, our health care, when it comes to raising the minimum wage to a living wage, those are some of the systemic reforms that I know we need.
Senator McLeod, I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We're back after this.